Welcome to Beyond the Bleachers with Grace McQuaid, your all-access pass to the world of college football and college basketball. From game day rivalries and bracket busters to behind-the-scenes stories that go deeper than the final score, we are breaking it all down. So grab your seat because the action doesn't stop when the clock hits zero. This is Beyond the Bleachers. Welcome everybody to another episode of Beyond the Bleachers with your host, Grayson McQuaid. Today we're going to start out with our little bit of breaking news, a little bit of just an update on the John Mateer injury, and then we'll transition over to the GMAC poll, which is a top 15 poll, and then after that we're going to do our game predictions for the top 10 games of the week. So let's get right into it. All right, we're starting off with our rankings. At number 15, we have LSU. LSU's 4-1 this year. They're 11th in the AP. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I was really in a competition with either putting them at 15 or Georgia Tech, as I'm just been extremely unimpressed with LSU. I think their defense is one of the top in college football, but their offense just has been horrendous. One of the stars of the defense has been DB Deshaun Spears with 2 INTs so far this year. They're only allowing 12.2 points per game, which is 4th in college football. Really solid. And I know everybody was telling me how they beat Clemson, though. I said this a couple weeks ago. I'm going to continue to say it. Clemson's not good. Clemson's just not a good team. So that just continues to be an unimpressive win, and I don't care for it at all. They've only allowed 7 touchdowns, but is also 4th in college football. And this just shows that their offense just hasn't been there at all. They beat Louisiana Tech 23-7. 23-7. You're only scoring 23 points on Louisiana Tech. That's pretty embarrassing. So that's just that sums up their offense in a nutshell for me. That just sums up how bad they've been on offense. Nuss has been decent. I've expected more from him. Whit Weeks is playing good so far this season. But this defense is insane. I can't say it enough, but I really wish this team had an offense, especially their run game has just been completely absent, which has been a reason that Nuss hasn't had the most success because you need a run game to have success and an O-line to have success as a quarterback, because if they had a good run game, their whole offense would open up a lot more. Caden Durham, I expect him to have a lot better of a year. He's really struggled so far this season. Juwan Johnson hasn't been good either. So their running backs just have been completely absent thus far. They really need to find offense if they want to be a top SEC contender. I went into this year, they were one of my national championship favorites, and the way they've been playing this season just has been the complete opposite of what I expected. I expected their defense to be better. I didn't expect their defense to be elite, but they have an elite defense. And then I expected their offense to be elite, which just hasn't been elite at all. So it just hasn't been what I expected at all from this team so far. Moving on. Number 14, Michigan. They're 15th in the AP, and they're at USC this week. Also, I'm going to go back to LSU. LSU is home versus South Carolina this week. But anyways, that's going to be a good game. Back to this. Michigan, they're 4-1 so far. They're 15th in the AP. They're at USC this week. Their defense has been solid. I mean, not as good as I expected from a Michigan defense. Their D-line has been completely insane, though. Jayshon Barnum. He's a DN/linebacker. He has been amazing. He reminds me a lot of Abdul Carter. He has 3 sacks this year. And I've just been extremely impressed from him. And I think he's going to be a lottery pick and when he's in the NFL. And I think he's a really solid player. Really explosive guy. Get past those O-linemen on the opposing side of the ball. Their D-line has just been insane. They're only allowing 77 rushing yards a game, which is 7th in college football. Their pass game has struggled a little bit, though. I expect them to be a little better on the pass game. And then Bryce Underwood is built in the lab. This dude, he is an alien, amazing, insane player. He is one of the best quarterbacks in college football. I would go top 20, which is just solid to see out of a freshman, maybe top 15. I'm not going to rank him, though. Yeah, he's been really impressive to me. I think they're going to open up that pass game Once they open that pass game for him, I think he's gonna really prove that he's a very, very good quarterback. As he hasn't been able to prove that yet, as he's only been limited to running the ball a little bit and hasn't passed the ball much down the field yet. But his receivers have dropped some passes that they should have caught. So his stats would be looking a lot better if it wasn't for that. Moving on, their running back, Justice Haynes. He's insane. He's averaging 136 yards a game. That's 5th in college football. So definitely one of the best backs in college football. Him, Ahmed Hardy, and Joe Coleman are up there together. And those best backs for sure. He's got 654 rushing yards. That's 4th in college football. And he has 8 touchdowns, which is 8th. So all around, he's just been a great season so far. I mean, I expect him to be good. I didn't expect him to be this good. But of course, when you have that elite Michigan O-line, any running back's going to be good for them. Moving on, wide receiver Donovan McCulley. Okay, this is the best wide receiver Michigan's had in a while. He's a transfer. But yeah, they haven't had a good wide receiver in years, and this guy just seems a little different. I know he's a senior, but the last receiver I've seen good last receiver I've seen that was good on Michigan was Roman Wilson. He only averaged 50 yards a game. This guy's averaging like 60, which is just good to see out of a Michigan receiver, as they're never usually the greatest receivers. So yeah, he's just been really good. I'll say it. Sorry, my mic making some noises. I'll say it again. Jayshon Barnum, dude, is a complete dog. He's gonna be a lottery pick. He's insane. So yeah, I'm excited to see how he's gonna be doing the rest of the year, as I think he's a great player, as I previously mentioned. Donovan McCulley is a transfer from Indiana. That's what I wanted to say. He had 2 catches for 20 yards last year at Indiana, so he's really elevated from his junior to senior year at Michigan, which has been really good to see. Moving on, number 13, Notre Dame. Okay, I know a lot of you guys are going to hate me for this, but I think Notre Dame is a playoff contender. I mean, their schedule has been unfair for them. They were at Miami, and they only lost by 3. Miami's a top 3 team in college football. They were home against A&M. They lost by 1. A&M's a great team. Yeah, they really fought hard in that, but you gotta win that game. But still, A&M's a great team, so I'm not gonna be down on them for that. Their defense has struggled at times. They allowed 30 to Purdue. Illinois also allowed 30. So I have extreme questions on their defense, which I wouldn't expect to have. So, but their offense, I mean, it's unfair. It's unfair. You got C.J. Carr. He's a freshman quarterback, and he's just going in. You're looking at, he's one of the best quarterbacks they've had in a while. Better than Sam Hartman, better than Riley Leonard, better than Tyler Buckner for sure. But yeah, he's C.J. Carr. Yeah, he's a great player. And also going back to that A&M game, the reason they lost that game was because Tyler Buckner fumbled a snap on the hold for PAT. So you never know what way that game would have gone if they didn't fumble that snap. They would have made the PAT, of course, but not the point. But yeah, so yeah, that A&M game could have really gone either way. So yeah, and then I haven't even talked about their running backs yet. Jadarian Price and Jeremiah Love. Are you kidding me? They both have 9 touchdowns. No, Jeremiah Love has 9 touchdowns, which is 2nd in college football, which is just insane. And they've just been running the ball extremely well so far this year. Their wide receivers have been interesting. I didn't expect Jordan Faison to be their best receiver. I expected Jaden Greaus to take a step up this year. Jaden Greaus has just been worse. He has 4 catches for 73 yards. So yeah, Jordan Faison's definitely been better. As well as Malachi Fields. He's been good too. He's a transfer from Virginia. He's been pretty solid. He's actually number 0, so that's pretty tough. He has 320 yards this year. And Faison also has 320. And then their pass D, has been completely horrendous. So they really got to work on that. If they improve that, this is definitely a top 10 team. I'm really high on them. As this offense, I'm just so impressed by their offense and really just taken away by it. Moving on to number 12. Oh, Notre Dame's 16th in the AP, FYI. All right, anyways. Moving on. Number 12, Tennessee. They're 4-1 this year. They're 12th in the AP as well. They play Arkansas this week. I'll start off with this. Their offense is elite. They're first in college football in points per game with 51, second in touchdowns with 33. Defense has struggled, though. They had 41 points allowed to Georgia, 41 points to Mississippi State. So, yeah, their defense has definitely struggled. No, they allowed 34 to Mississippi State. I take that back because it was 41-34 OT. Okay, anyways. Their defense has really struggled. Then they also allowed 24 to UAB. So, yeah, their offense is really elite, but they got to figure something out on the defensive side of the ball. Aguilar has been inaccurate at times, which he needs to improve on. He's definitely thrown interceptions, but he also has great plays sometimes. Wide receiver Chris Brazzell is 8th in college football in receiving yards with 531. And then Mike Matthews also has 370. And Braylon Stanley has 322. So just elite wide receivers all around. Their running backs have been good, both over 360 yards this year, Deshaun Bishop and Star Thomas. Yes, his name's Star Thomas, pretty sick. So, yeah, Tennessee is just a highly offensive team. They remind me a lot of Notre Dame. They're a highly offensive team, bad on defense. So those two teams would be a really good game on a neutral site. I would love to see that. All right, Missouri. I have them ranked 11th. They're 5-0. They're 14th in the AP. They play Bama this week. Their offense has been elite, Missouri. 45 points per game, 7th in college football, as well as 292 rushing yards per game, which is 3rd. Bo Prabula and Ahmed Hardy have been insane. I mean, Bo has quarterback transfer from Penn State. I can't say it enough. He's way better than Drew Aller. I think he would fit really well in the Penn State system this year, but sadly, they don't have him at Penn State anymore because he transferred, which was clearly an amazing move. Ahmed Hardy is 1st in college football in rushing yards, 2nd in touchdowns, and then their other running back, Jamal Roberts, is also insane. He has 421 yards and 6 touchdowns. So, yeah, their run game has just been absolutely insane. And then D lineman Damon Wilson, 3.5 sacks. Their defense has struggled at times, but this offense is so elite that this is going to be a really good game between them and Alabama. I'm really excited to watch it. Yeah, I'm really excited for that. Moving on to number 10, Ole Miss. They're 4th in the AP. I just don't see them that high, as they're just a balanced team. Their offense and defense has just been solid. I would say solid. They play Washington State this week. Their quarterback, Chambliss, has been great, and their running back, Kawan Lacey. They also have good receivers, specifically tight end Daquan Wright with 281 yards this year. But, yeah, I haven't seen a crazy amount from their offense. I think Trinidad Chambliss is a good quarterback. But, they're not averaging, a crazy amount of points. Nothing's blowing me away in there, in my opinion. Nothing's blowing me away and, think, oh, my gosh, this team's so good for them to be 4 like they are in AP. They beat LSU. They were home, though, in that game. LSU's, once again, not that good of a team as many think they are. I could honestly put LSU. I'm surprised I even have them top 15, in my opinion. I'm really being, generous for that, in fact. So, yeah. To be totally honest with you, they're not as good as what people think they are. So, yeah. Moving on to number 9 in my rankings, Georgia. They are 10th in the AP. Georgia's 4-1. They're at Auburn this week. I have them on upset alert. Their offense has been extremely solid. Their defense has needing improvement. Once again, another team that I expect their defense to be better than their offense. It just hasn't been that. It just hasn't. Yeah. They're second in points per game, first in pass yards per game, sixth in defensive points allowed. Oh, that's Texas Tech. I'm reading off Texas Tech. I'm sorry. Okay, sorry. Back to Georgia. Sorry. They're averaging 1.4 turnovers a game, which is just not a recipe for winning college football games. So they really got to improve on that, because if they keep doing that, they're not even an SEC contender, in my opinion. I don't think this team has really got to prove a lot to me. Their running backs have just been solid. Chauncey Bones and Nate Frazier, they've been solid. I wouldn't say much more than solid, though. They just haven't blown me away really much. Chris Cole, linebacker, he's been good this year. 4 TFLs and 3 sacks. So he's had a good season so far. Moving on, Texas Tech, 8th in my AP. In my poll, not the AP. 9th in the AP. They play Kansas this week. Their offense and defense have been both elite. They've been a complete team so far. They haven't had much of a test. I mean, they went at Utah, to Utah, and played, which was a blowout, 34-10. So yeah, they're a balanced team. I'm waiting for them to get like a true test to really rank them higher, because I do think if they do continue the way they're playing against the even better teams, this is definitely a top 5 team. But they haven't played the best yet, so I'm waiting for them to play the best still. Second in points per game, first in yards per game, pass yards per game, 6th in defensive points allowed. So that just goes back to the fact that they're such a full, complete team. Their quarterback, Byron Morton, has been insane. As well, they have 2 good running backs, Cameron Dickey and Jacoby Williams. I say them every week. They've been great. They're easily the Big 12 favorites and could be one of the top contenders in college football. I'll say it again, once I see them compete against one of the better teams in the game. Moving on, Indiana at 7. They're 7th in the AP as well. They're 5-0 this far. They're at Autzen, Oregon this week, which is going to be a game. We'll see how that goes. They're well-rounded on both sides of the ball. 3rd in points allowed, 4th in points scored. Mendoza has been great. Their running backs have been great. Amar Cooper, wide receiver, 7 touchdowns, 1st in the Big Ten. So their offense has just been absolutely elite. As well, they have D'Angelo Ponzon at DB. He's been great safety so far this season. So yeah, Indiana has a pretty complete team. Once again, I'm waiting for them to play like in Ohio State. They're not going to play in Ohio State this year. I'm interested to see how this Oregon game goes this week. I'll predict that later. But I think that's going to be quite a game. Moving on. Number 6, Texas A&M. They're 5th in the AP. They play Florida this week. They have struggled on defense, but they're pretty well balanced on offense. Marcel Reed has been good. Really good dual threat. I didn't expect him to be this good as a passer because he wasn't like an insane passer last year. He's been really good this year at passer. So, yeah. They're at Missouri this week. No, they play Florida this week. I already said that. They've struggled on defense, but they're well balanced on offense for sure. Le'Veon Moss hasn't played a game yet where he does this team. Le'Veon Moss hasn't had a good game yet for the running back out of A&M, and he's a pretty elite running back. And I think once he starts getting hot, I don't see many teams being able to stop them. Besides the top defenses like Oklahoma, Ohio State, and Miami, I don't see many teams stopping this dynamic offense once Le'Veon Moss gets going. Casey Conception and Mario Craver have been both insane. I can't say it enough. Yeah, Marcel Reed just been getting them the ball in space, and they've made the most of their opportunities. Moving on, 5th Bama. They're 4-1 this year. They're 8th in the AP at Missouri this week. Offense has been amazing. The D has just been solid. I wouldn't say amazing. They did hold Vandy to 14, which is just extremely impressive, as Diego Pavia and Eli Stowers and Cedric Alexander have been a great three-headed trio on the offensive side of the ball for Vandy. So yeah, they've been great this year. Ty Simpson is in the Heisman race. They also have 3 good receivers, Dream Bernard, Ryan Williams, and Isaiah Horton. Now that they have Jam Miller back, I think they're going to continue to improve. Also, that pass defense has been amazing for them so far. Bray Hubbard, elite safety. So yeah, that Bama, It's going to be an interesting game at Missouri this week. I'm really thrilled for this one, excited for this one because I think it's going to be a really interesting game, and it's going to be a really tough pick. I'll tell you my pick later in the show, but I'm a little skeptical on the pick. Moving on, number 4 Oklahoma. They're 6th in the AP. They play Texas this week. Their defense has been absolutely insane. 7.2 points per game allowed so far, which is second in college football. They have 3 offensive touchdowns, which is also just insane. And their running backs / run game has been questionable. They haven't really showed much. It seems like most of their run game has relied on Mateer when he's been healthy. Mateer remains probable. He's projected to return. But yeah, you can't rely on a quarterback's running game in the SEC, and that's what they've been doing so far. So we'll see how that goes as they transition to SEC play versus Texas. Their D lineman Taylor Ween has 3.5 sacks this year, so yeah, he's been playing great as well. So yeah, that defense has just been completely elite in my opinion, and I don't think many offenses will be able to exploit them throughout the rest of the year. Moving on to our top 3. At number 3, we have Oregon. They're 3rd in the AP as well. They're at Indiana. They're home against Indiana this week. We'll see how that one goes. I think it's going to be interesting. They've been dynamic on both sides, top 5 in offensive points per game allowed and scored. So just a really well-balanced team with elite offense and defense capability. Their freshman running back, Deary Hill, it's been really good to see him, as now he's finally been given the starting role, as it took a while for Dan Lang to give him it. DeCorian Moore, amazing freshman receiver, just sensational so far. As well as linebacker Mateo Ukulele, I've been saying him every year. He has 4 sacks and 5 TFLs. Oregon's definitely one of the most complete teams in college football so far. Dante Moore's also in the Heisman race. He's been really good. So yeah, another Big Ten quarterback that's just been elite. Moving on. Number 2, the Ohio State Buckeyes. They're 5-0, first in the AP, at Illinois this week. Best defense in college football, first in points allowed with 5. And the next team coming up with that is Oklahoma with 7.2. So that just shows that, there's kind of a little bit of a drop-off. A little bit of a two-point drop-off. So that's kind of a lot, honestly, for points allowed per game. They haven't had a true, tough offensive opponent besides Washington they've played yet, which they allowed them to 6, which is just insane to me. I'm still trying to process that. Julian Sands' first game throwing the ball deep was versus Minnesota, and boy did he look good. He's now a Heisman contender. After watching that game, I mean, he looked like one of the best quarterbacks in college football. I can say it again because, dang, there are so many good quarterbacks this year, it feels like. Cardinal Tate and Jeremiah Smith, I'll say, best wide receiver combo. Can't say enough. Max Clare, tight end, really turned it on. A little coming out party for him against Minnesota. Bo Jackson, the freshman running back, I think he's the best freshman running back in college football so far. Their D-line has also been insane with Caden Curry and McDonald. So, yeah, this team is just completely stacked. And if you look at this roster on paper, I mean, I'm easily saying this is the best roster on paper. They're really bringing it together, too. I just can't have them at 1 yet, as Miami, Florida's just played a tougher schedule and really capitalized on their tough schedule. So, yeah, Miami, Florida, number 1. They're second in the AP. They have a bye this week, though. They have one of the toughest schedule and has been impressive against the top teams. They beat ND. They beat Florida at Florida State. They have 3 solid receivers. Malachi Toney, the freshman, has just been insane, as well as senior C.J. Daniels has been solid as well. Bryce Fitzgerald, their defensive back, has 3 INTs, has also been great pass defense from them. So, yeah, they just have an elite offense and defense, which is just the main reason I have them at number 1. They've just seemed like the most complete team, in my opinion, so far. With that, those are my top 15, the GMAC Poll rankings. We're going to take a little bit of a break here, as we're going to be moving on to the next segment, which is going to be my game predictions. So, yeah, we'll be back in just a few. Welcome back to the show, and we're going to do now our game predictions. Let's start off with Florida at Texas A&M. Florida's 2-3, just coming off a big win versus Texas at home in the Swamp. So I think this is going to be a good game. Florida's offense recently found their identity in throwing the ball deep, with DJ Lagaway really turning it on. Their running back, Jaden Ball, has been amazing all year. And then for the A&M side, Marcel Reed has been elite. And with their amazing receivers, Conception and Craver, A&M's offense has been elite as well. Hopefully Le'Veon Moss can get going for them. The defensive lineman transfer from Bowling Green, Cassius Howell for A&M. I just want to shout him out. He has 7 sacks this year, which is just insane. I think this is going to be a close game, but in the end, I just don't think I can trust Lagaway in the long run, as I don't see him closing out a big game like this on the road, even though he's coming off a good win for him that he really needed. So, yeah, with that being said, I got Florida in this game. I got Florida losing to A&M in OT 31-27. I think this is going to be a 24-24 game going to OT. I think Florida's going to get a field goal, and then A&M's going to strut down the field for a touchdown and win this one. So that is my prediction for this one. I have a 7 out of 10 in the upset alert meter for Florida upsetting A&M. So it could definitely happen. I just can't see it in the end just because Lagaway. He's still a young guy, and I don't completely trust him, even off coming off a big win. Next game, number 21 Arizona State, 4-1 versus at Utah, which is also 4-1. Utah's been better on offense and defense than Arizona State, but they haven't played the amount of competition that Arizona State has put. Utah's had a good run game and pass from Devon Dampier, the quarterback, who's been dual threat this year, which is good to see. The Utes have also 2 running backs over 300 yards, so they've been pretty balanced with the running game, as well as their D lineman, John Henry Daly, with 6.5 sacks, who's been elite. He also has 2 forced fumbles. And then we look on the Arizona State side of the ball. Jordan Tyson has been insane. He'll be a lottery pick for sure. Really good player. And then running back Raleek Brown is 613 yards, so he's been great too. These are pretty even teams. Utah night game at home is a big reason I have Utah in this game. So yeah, I have Utah 30-24. I think it's going to be lower scoring for a Big 12 game than expected, because Big 12 games are usually pretty high scoring as defenses have struggled this year. But I think Arizona State's defense is pretty solid, and Utah's defense is okay too. But I just think the night game, the atmosphere is going to be really good. It's a 9:15 kickoff, so I'm expecting a close game. I'm expecting a good game, and I think it's going to come down to the wire for sure, as I have Utah 30-24. Moving on, South Carolina at LSU. South Carolina already has 2 losses this year. This is going to be a good game. I don't know. Maybe Lenore Sellers get something going this game. We'll see. Both offenses have been just decent. I haven't seen much. I expected more from Lenore's going into the year, and South Carolina needs more of a run game as they haven't had much at all. This is going to be a defensive game. As I said, LSU is just extremely one-dimensional in my opinion. They're just a straight-up defensive team in my opinion, but I think that defense will carry them in this one. Caden Durham has struggled. If he finds himself in this one, LSU's definitely going to win, but is he going to find himself? If he does find himself, then it's going to open up the whole offense. Nuss is going to be able to get some balls out quicker, make some good accurate throws, and be able to get his run game going as well on the read option. So, yeah, we're going to see. We're going to see for that. And then, I just think this is going to be a low-scoring game. I have a 9 out of 10 on the upset alert scandal for this. I think South Carolina has a good chance in this one. Maybe Lenoris will find his footing in this. I just think LSU is going to find a way to pull away. It's at the Tiger Stadium, Death Valley. I have a 21-17 LSU victory. This is going to be a close one. I'm excited for it. Now, number 15, Michigan, which is 4-1 at USC 4-1. I think Bryce Ridley is going to find his footing against Sharon Moore. I think he's going to let him sling it tomorrow. And then also it just combines with USC just having a horrible defense, as they always do. So I think this is really just going to be the game where Bryce Underwood really finds himself and he finds his identity. And this Michigan offense really finds their identity in the passing game and not just their insane running game. USC's offense, I think it's still going to bring it as well. I think it's going to be a decently high-scoring game. Maeva's one of the best quarterbacks in college football, and I think he's going to have a really good game. Their wide receiver, Mekhi Lemon, has been great as well. I just don't think that's enough for USC. I don't think their dynamic offense is enough. I think that Michigan in the end will just get a couple more stops than USC will. So, yeah, that's why I have Michigan 28-24 in this. I got an 8 out of 10 on the upset alert meter. I'm really, really questioning my pick on this one, but I trust your run more. Even though it's at the Coliseum, I think it's going to be a good game, but I trust Michigan a little more just on the defensive end of the ball than I do USC. Now, we have Texas at Oklahoma, Red River rivalry. Texas has 2 losses, which is just crazy. Going into the year, I thought this team was going to be 4-1 or 5-0 at this point, but they've just been really, really struggling lately. So yeah, they still haven't found anything. And yeah, so they have been struggling lately. Oklahoma's defense has been completely elite. Texas D has been elite as well. So this is going to be a pretty low-scoring game overall, as these are just like, but overall, I just think Oklahoma has the better offense, which is the difference in this game, is I think these defenses are pretty equal. So yeah, I got this Oklahoma offense just being better as the difference in this game. John Mateer is supposedly supposed to be back. He's probable. I trust Hawkins at quarterback if Mateer doesn't come back, which he has a experience as a starter from last year. And my X factor in this game is Oklahoma tight end Jaron Kanak. He's been amazing this year. Just another one of those great tight ends. There's a couple of them this year throughout the game. So I think he's the X factor. This is going to be the reason that Oklahoma wins this game. I got a 23-17 Oklahoma victory, 7 out of 10 on the upset alert meter. I just think this Oklahoma advantage at home is also going to really help them out here. So yeah, that's my prediction. It's 23-17 Oklahoma. Moving on, number 10 Georgia at Auburn. Georgia hasn't played a run quarterback like Jackson Arnold yet, and this could be a warm welcoming for them. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, they haven't played a quarterback like Arnold, so I think they're going to be woken up. This defense is going to be caught sleeping a bit. I also really like the quarterback, the wide receivers for Auburn. Coleman, he's been great. So yeah, I think Hugh Freeze in Auburn is going to need to get the run game going, and they can't throw the ball too much like they tried doing last week if they want to win this one. So yeah, I think they're going to really need to get that run game going for the pass game to open up, because last week Arnold threw the ball over 30 times, which you just don't want to see out of that type of quarterback. That's not how he's built to play. He's more of a running quarterback for sure. I like to see 100 rushing yards out of Arnold. How about 100 passing too? That's really all you need, in my opinion, for this game, and a little bit of run game going for Auburn to win this one. I think Stockton's got to get going from Georgia just off the jump, and Auburn's pass D has been great, so we'll see how that goes. I mean, Auburn's pass D's been average, not great. So maybe Stockton's going to get some openings up, but I just don't trust that Georgia run game too much. Josh McCray can punch it in, but that's pretty much all they have going for them. So I got 23-21 Auburn. Auburn's unranked, but it's at Auburn. I trust them. This is a 9 out of 10 the upset alert. So yeah, I got Auburn in this one. That's the one big upset I got for this week. Yeah, pretty big upset. We have 4 games left to pick. Ohio State, number 1 Ohio State, at number 17 Illinois. Illinois' defense has struggled a lot. You allowing 63 to Indiana. Indiana has a dynamic offense, but nobody allows 63 points in a conference game. So, yeah, was extremely unimpressive. And they allowed 27 to Purdue, which is also just a little embarrassing, as Purdue is not usually the team to drop 20 points on a Big Ten opponent. I doubt they even had 20 points once last year. Actually, no, they did last year, because I remember that Illinois game was really high scoring. I mean, the Indiana, I forget. Okay, never mind, whatever. But Purdue offense is usually not going to drop 27 points. That's a little embarrassing from the Indiana D. I don't think Ohio State's going to be able to stop. I don't think Ohio State's offense. Ohio State's offense could be. I cannot speak. I don't think Illinois is going to be able to stop Ohio State's offense overall, as well as good Sand's been looking lately. I'm really confident in him. This could be a close game and a half, but I think Ohio State's going to completely pull away. Shout out to Gabe Lucas, the D lineman for Illinois. He has 4.5 sacks. And Caden Curry, 5 sacks. So he has 2 good D linemen on both teams. But yeah, I just can't see the team this year being able to score more than 21 points versus Ohio State. And I see Ohio State scoring way more than 21 points. So overall, in this game, I got a 38-17 Ohio State victory. I just think that Illinois defense is just not good at all. So I got Ohio State big in this one. And Ohio State could even win by more, to be totally honest with you. We'll see. I mean, maybe you never know, and maybe Illinois' defense has a good game at home. We'll see. You never know, I guess. But yeah, this is just a game I wish I could pick a little closer, but I just have so much confidence in Ohio State just all around as such a just total complete team. Next, number 7, Indiana, 5-0 at number 3, Oregon. Both complete teams, more elite defense for Oregon than Indiana's defense. The crowd plays a big factor in this. Austin's going to be rocking. It's going to be completely rocking. I remember that Ohio State game last year. That was crazy. As an Ohio State fan watching that game, you could just hear how loud that place was. I don't think Signetti's guys will be able to just handle this at all. I think it could be close in the first half, but Decorian Moore is the X factor in this one. I think it's a 27-21 Oregon victory, but I think it's just going to be a garbage time touchdown that's going to get Indiana that last touchdown to make it look closer than it really is. But honestly, I could see this being a complete blowout. I could see Oregon blowing out Indiana in this one. We'll see. I just think that Indiana will just Fernando Mendoza is just a good enough quarterback where I think that they're going to be able to score 21. So yeah. And then I got a 6 out of 10 the upset alert meter. I should probably lower that down to like a 4 because I don't trust Indiana really. Just on the road, they haven't played against an inferior opponent like that yet. And last time, like we know, on the road at Ohio State, they got blown out. So yeah, last year. So I think this is a similar team. I think it's better this year, but still a very similar team from last year. Moving on. Friday night game tonight. I'm excited for this. Number 24 USF at North Texas. These are pretty even teams. North Texas quarterback Drew Mestmaker has been pretty solid so far. Very accurate. Has yet to throw an interception, which has been good to see. And then North Texas also has 2 running backs. So yeah, they have a solid offense for sure. Their defense has struggled, especially their run D. And USF has struggled on defense a bit too. Byron Brown, though, a great quarterback for USF. He has been great so far. As you remember, that big win they had signature at Florida to knock him off. Byron Brown was a big help in that, even though it was a low-scoring game. But yeah, the running backs have been questionable for South Florida more than they have for North Texas. So overall, it's at North Texas. I got North Texas in this game. High-scoring, 38-35 victory for North Texas. What are they, the Green Eagles or something? Okay, whatever. But yeah, I got North Texas in this one. I think it's going to be a good game, though. I'll say it again. Now, one of the biggest games of the week. Number 8, Bama at number 14, Missouri. This is going to be interesting. And I don't really trust my pick much on this game. But I wouldn't trust either way as this because really it's just a tough game to predict, to be totally honest with you. Bama's offense has lacked a run game a little so far. Their pass defense has been elite. Though they can stop Bro Purdue. They can stop Bro Prabula. I think they will just a bit, but I don't think they're going to be able to stop Hamid Hardy, the elite running back, best running back in college football, the UL Monroe transfer. They also have a good backup running back in Jamal Roberts. I said that earlier in the pod. Yeah, Missouri does. I don't think an elite run game is enough, though, for them to beat Bama. So overall, I got Bama 33-27. This is going to be a really good game. I'm really excited for this. This is probably my favorite game of the week to watch. I think it's going to be interesting. And even if I get this pick wrong, I'm just this is gonna be a really good game, and I'm really excited as they're just both elite quarterbacks, solid offenses, but really, solid defenses, but insane offenses for both teams. So yeah, I'm really excited for this one. I got an 8 out of 10 on the upset alert, but I got Bama at 32-27. All right, that's the podcast today. Thank you so much for listening. Drop any comments below if you disagree with any of my picks. I'd love to debate with you. Have a good weekend. It's going to be a great weekend of college football. And yeah, this is Beyond the Bleachers with Chris McQuaid. We are out.